Hi, it's Chris from Implied Music. Today's tutorial is about the Harmonic Highway. The Harmonic Highway is a segment of the circle of fifths, and it's useful for all kinds of chord progressions, diatonic chord progressions, and also chord progressions that twist those diatonic expectations. We'll look at it now. Let's go to the DAW. Okay, so listen to this. So that's a series of chords that roll around the circle of fifths, but stay within, in this case, the C scale. Maybe I'll expand this a little bit so that we can look at it more closely. The circle of fifths, as I'm sure you're aware, is a teaching tool that describes the collection of all 12 notes. But any scale is basically a segment, there we go, of that circle. Now, all these notes that I'm highlighting all these notes I just highlighted are the notes from the C scale: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then the whole thing starts again. Now, any chord progression whose roots follow along the circle, either clockwise or counterclockwise, will be functional. Functional is actually a word we use technically in music theory to describe the progression of chords one to the other. Functional harmony is a thing, it's a category. So if I was going to say start on C and go counterclockwise to F, I would have a choice of continuing around the circle, but we're going to follow the harmonic highway across the circle to B. That's not a fifth. It's what we call the tritone. It's a slightly narrower fifth. From B, B is the 5 of E, is the 5 of A, is the 5 of D, is the 5 of G, and the whole thing starts again. Let's go back to the DAW. So what I've done, and let's just play it. What I've done is I don't need to see that. What I've done is to play through roots here. C, F, B, E, A minor 7, D minor 7. Happens again. C, F, B half diminished, E minor 7, A minor 7, D minor 7, G sus, and then to C. And because I just wanted things to sound like a piece, I made sure it fell into an 8-bar form. It sounds, I don't know how to describe that exactly, except to say it might sound a little bit like a sort of old-fashioned kind of chord progression. We can make that slightly old-fashioned sounding chord progression even more traditional, even more like the American songbook style, by varying the chords a little bit. Because the circle of fifths is essentially the play of tonic and dominant, we can say, I want to tonicize a couple of the chords even harder by changing minor 7 chords to dominant chords. So C to F, B minor 7 flat 5 to E7 instead of E minor 7. Do you hear how it pushes you to A minor? I like that. And then instead of D minor 7, D7 pushes you to G. Let's record that and see how it looks. C, F, there's the half diminished, E7 takes you to A minor 7, D7 takes you to G. And then the whole thing starts again. So, a strong bunch of chords there, really pretty interesting. The roots remain the same, but we are adding tones that aren't diatonic, where taking minor 7 chords and making them dominant chords. Pretty powerful effect. Some people call that secondary dominant, where you have up a dominant chord that isn't in the original key pointing and pushing us someplace. It's a pretty strong and powerful effect. I love that sound. Now, we could take it one step further and borrow chords from the parallel minor. This is a terrific sound. I always have loved this sound, and we use it in rock music all the time. C, F, B flat, E flat. I mean, that's a strong rock sound right there, right? No doubt. A minor 7 to G, and then again. And the A minor 7 could easily be A flat. In an epic context, surprise chords, one chord changed out of that can sound really good. So here's my C, here's my diminished to E minor 7, and instead here, let's go to A flat major. Cool, right? Go home again after that A flat. That A flat there kind of gives you this kind of big surprise lift. And it's because the expectation of the harmonic highway has been slightly twisted. The expectation fulfillment relationship is a really important part of telling a strong story in music. Well, we can stop this. We don't need to continue. So, I guess the last thing I want to say about this is you can start almost anywhere in that circle. Listen to this. And right here, it's this is by the way, that's the classic chord progression from the disco hit "I Will Survive." But that chord progression, starting on the relative minor, starting on A, and going around the circle in the same sort of way, has been used in I don't know if it's thousands, but hundreds of popular songs, really starting in like the 15th century. This has been around forever, this technique. So you can see the bass line. You can see my little flub here, and the chord progression runs from A, and I'm just stepping down the scale until I get to D, walking up with that whole step, half step, half step trick to G. G goes down to C, C goes up to F, F down to B, and the B is a half diminished. And then when I get to the E, I'm going to just sit on it, and the E I'm going to make a dominant chord to make the circle happen again. And this is by no means proprietary to this song. As I said, this cycle has been used for, I'm just going to say centuries, in classical art song, popular folk music, and disco and rock. The Harmonic Highway, it's a great sort of tool for setting off in your exploration of more sophisticated harmonic languages. 3 and 4 chord songs are so common, but there's no reason to stick with just those. And almost every song that uses extended ideas harmonically is going to find itself relating to the harmonic highway within the key that you're working in somehow. I hope this has been useful. If it has, please like and subscribe. Comments help me a lot. It turns out that the YouTube algorithm likes it when people make comments. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.